Hello and welcome to class 1. So let's get going straight away. My name's Adele, for those people that don't know me, welcome. So starting off with fairly simple moves. Our sessions always start standing. I'm hoping I've got this so yes, you can see the full me. So get yourself a little bit of space and we get ourselves into neutral position. Feet underneath hips and an even balance between toes and heels. So if you want to go for a little rock, you can do. Feel the extremes where you might rock backwards or fall forwards, and then get toes and heels on the ground so you've got a good stable base. Soft at the knees and check your hips. So your hips should be able to roll and tilt. So keeping the body fairly still and you feel your back curve. I can move mine quite a long way, you might not move yours much. You're aiming to find the point where your hip bones are facing forwards. Keep them there and then lengthen your spine. Relax your shoulders down and back so the arms just hang at your side. Breathe in through the nose and breathe out through the mouth. And we're aiming to breathe through the lower rib cage. So try and keep that breathing going. And we start to engage the core. Pull the belly button in. Feel it trying to push towards the backbone. You're holding really tight. You can't keep that held for a long time, so gently ease it off. So you're still holding, but it's not too much. Then think about your pelvic floor. Lift through the pelvic floor, squeeze it, tighten it, almost as if you're feeling it zip from back to front. Keep it held, and again, you can't hold it forever, so gently release. Feeling now the whole of the core engage. You might also feel a little tension through your chest and your back as you keep that upper body tall. That's your full core. We try and hold it throughout. We're ready to move. Breathe in, and as you breathe out, a nice simple arm float. Nothing too drastic, just getting the body moving. If anyone's got a watch and wants to set up to record your workout, please do so. I meant to say that before I started and I forgot. So breathe out, breathe it in. So just get the breath flowing and feel the body. If you can, go higher. I'm gonna have to be careful, I've got very low ceilings in this room. And you might just be able to see the beams. I can just touch the beams. So keep that back nice and long, holding the core tight to keep the hips in position. Take the arms up this time, open to the side and circle round. Breathe out, breathe it in. One more time. Relax those arms to your side. Just check you've still got your good neutral position. Soft into the knee, and we think about hips. We're going to do a little circle. So try and keep your shoulders still and push the hips around, pushing them forwards to the side, back and the other side. Again, you might find this is really small. Then can you circle the other way? Naturally, you'll always go one way. So it might not feel as easy going this way round. Bring it back to the middle and then take your feet a little bit wider, ready to warm into our legs, our squats. So keep that back long, the core engage, bend the knees and sit. Push and lengthen. So knees towards your toes, and they do travel slightly forward, so they end up above the toes. But concentrate on taking your hips back and sitting yourself down. Now you're aiming for bum in line with knees if you can, but you don't have to go that low. The chest stays fairly high. So it's not about can I touch the ground, it's more about can I get my bum in line with my knees. If you want, just add some arms floating in front. Now we breathe in as we sink, breathe out as you push. We try and use that out breath on the hardest moves. And in a squat, it's that pushing and lengthening back up, working against gravity. 2 more. Starting to warm through the legs. Lengthen and a little shake out. Our balance. Simple one to start, and I'm going to build on this throughout the course. So get yourself into a good neutral and just think about taking one foot off the ground and then replace. Then change to the other foot. Really concentrate on slowly placing the foot back down and slowly lifting the other one up. So it's not a down up, it's a gradual change of weight. Knees are soft. Feel the balls of the feet touch down and slowly the heel. At the same time you start to feel you taking the weight off the other heel and then slowly peel the balls of the feet. Gradually as you can, lift the knee higher. You might find you can't take the foot very far. You might want to just support yourself with a wall. It's not leaning against it, it's just the wall's there in case you need it. If you can always add arms, just opening to the side. Core tight, relax the shoulders. Feel that length through your body, almost as if someone's got a string and they're pulling it up through the top of your head. So you're lengthening. And as you lift that leg, almost feel yourself float. One more time each side. Bring it down and release. Loosen it out. So we're ready to move into our main phase. I'm actually going to start this one standing, and we're going to do the dumb waiter. So reset yourself into neutral, get your body in position. Bring your elbows to your side. They don't have to touch, but they're by your side, below the shoulders. Hands pointing up, and I'm going to just turn sideways on. So you keep yourself in a good neutral. Breathe in, and as you breathe out, you just try and push your thumbs around and then back. So the body stays still. The dumb waiter, it's about working into your shoulder. So you're trying to rotate at the shoulder joint. It's almost as if you're drawing a circle with your thumbs. You're never going to meet them behind, but as you push round, you really try and rotate and get the thumbs to meet behind. And you'll start to feel it into the shoulder joint. Now engage through the core to stop you from pushing the chest and back forwards. Make it be into the shoulder, and you'll feel it around the upper back as well. It's a fairly simple move, but warm in that shoulder, starting to strengthen the muscles into the upper back. Also gives you a stretch into the chest. So if you are someone that rounds the shoulders forwards, this one's going to help you to open the chest. Any problems with your shoulders, you might quite quickly feel maybe one shoulder more than the other. Keep that core held tight and breathe out. Give me 2 more. Bring it back to the middle and then a little relax. Cross and link the hands and then just curl forwards. A little stretch into the upper body. Then release. So we're going to go. If you've got a mat, come to one end of the mat. A little bit of a roll down first. You lost my head, but don't worry, because we'll see it again once we're coming down to the ground now. Just a couple to warm through the back. So tall through the body, relax the shoulders into your neutral. Breathe in, and as you breathe out, chin to chest, and roll through the body. Really feel the curve through the whole of the spine, the weight of the arms, and you hang. Push down into the feet and roll back up. So we're warming through the whole of the spine. Breathe out and roll. Go as far as comfortable where you start to feel a little stretch, whether it's in your back, down into the back of the legs, and then you stop, push down into the feet and roll back up again. Lengthen and see if you can grow taller. We're hoping to elongate through the spine. Nice one to do in an evening, this, if you've got an aching back. It just helps to take the tension out of the vertebrae. Grow tall. One more time. Which bit of your back's tight? Mine's into the lower back. That's where I struggle. Hold in the core all the time. That supports. Lengthen tall. Bring yourself up. Pause at the top for a moment and just reset. And we're ready to come down to the ground. So one more roll down. And we're going to come down onto all fours. But if you want, I always put this challenge in, the plank. Breathe in, and as you breathe out, you roll. So we are coming to all fours. Hang at the bottom. Feel that stretch. Stay here for a moment and just relax into that stretch. If you can, bring your hands to the ground or bend your knees to bring the hands down and start to walk it forward. I don't mind how you come to the ground. You can come to the plank if possible. Now don't leave your bum up into the air. Try and tuck your hips under and push your body weight a little bit forward. So you feel it over the hands, your chest there. Breathe. From that, come down to your knees and slowly walk your hands in. I'm just going to reposition the camera for a moment so you can see the floor a little better. There we go. So we're in all fours. Knees underneath hips, hands underneath shoulders with a softness at the elbow. Now check your back. I kind of arch my back, so I have to really think about pulling my belly button in. Maybe you're more of a rounding person. Push your chest down and lengthen the spine. We're going to keep it like that. And I'm going to do press-ups. Those that love to hate them. Upper body workout, the ultimate upper body workout. Take your hands a little wider. Engage through that core and keep the chest between the hands. Breathe in, and as you breathe out, slowly lower yourself down. Push into the hands and lengthen. I'm just going to turn slightly so I'm more in line with the camera and then you can see my position. So you push your elbows out and slightly back and then push down into the hands as you lengthen back up. Now if you can, breathe out as you lower. A little in-breath at the bottom. Breathe out as you lengthen. In-breath at the top. If you're struggling, walk your hands very slightly back so they're closer to your knees. It's not in, they're still wide, but closer to your knees. And you can see that my chest is now very much over, but I've got my bum further back. I can do exactly the same, but there's less weight into my arms. Bend and push up. I'm keeping this one for a little bit of time as well, because this one's going to be in class 2. So position from the front, you're there. For those that are good at press-ups, start to walk your hands forward. Now you don't leave your bum back, you have to move your body weight forward to go with it. Same thing. Show that one from the side as well. So you've moved your hands further forwards, but you've also moved your hips further forwards. And you do the same from there. How many have you done? Are you already done in? Can you manage 2 more? And when you've finished, sit it back, reach those arms in front and stretch it out. The ultimate upper body workout. Works your chest, works your arms, works your back, your core, works into the hips as well. If you need it, bring yourself up and open. You can stay down, you can come up if you want, but you'll lose my head if I do that. Oh, I also hit the drawers. We're going to lay down onto our fronts now and start to work into the back of the legs. So you get yourself into a nice position. You can use a towel, you can use something underneath your head if you want to. You can just use your hands. Now I've got my head turned so I'm looking at the camera. I don't know why I look at the camera, I just feel I have to. It's almost if I'm watching you. If you can, look to the ground and let your forehead relax onto your hands. We're going to work the legs. So relax through the upper body. Watch first if you want to. It's the single or double leg kick. It's all about squeezing into the bum, and I want you to think about what your hips are doing as I just wriggle them around. They need to stay on the ground. So a little squeeze into the bum, and then 1, 2, and lengthen. Then the other foot. Breathe out as you squeeze it in. So the upper body, relaxed. You can go for single leg. I'm just going to move that arm and then you can hear me talking a bit better. If you feel fine, you can go to double leg. So what's happening around the hips? Do you feel your hip bones staying down into the ground? Or do you find that your hips are trying to lift? Squeeze your bum and push your hips down. Maybe your hips stay down quite nicely, in which case think about the stomach. Pull the belly button in to try and stop the stomach from pushing down too much. So you're trying to get your hips into a good neutral position. As you lengthen your legs away, particularly if you're doing the double leg, don't let them touch the ground. Float them, hold everything tight. Upper body relaxed. So we're working into our hamstrings. That's the muscle down the back of the leg. You can point your toes. You can relax the feet. You can flex the feet. Whatever's comfortable for you. And if you can manage 2 more. Lengthen and a little relax. Tuck your toes under, push your heels away, and it just stretches into the back of the leg for you. And then push yourself up and stretch the glutes. So when you're ready, lengthen yourself out and lay on one side. So if your shoulder allows, let the arm lengthen up and the body becomes long. Shoulder down away from the ear, hips are facing forward. Just check, you can roll about, but I need that hip to be forward. Engaging through the core and the legs in line, but we are going to move. We're going to do the clam. Now this is one where in a class I would normally come round and check everyone. I'll show you how you can check. Allow your knees to bend and they come forwards as your heels slide towards your bum. Just to a nice 90 degrees. So not in too close, not out too far, just a nice bend. How do you check? Push yourself up slightly and you want your hips and your feet in line with your body. So your feet aren't too far forwards, your feet aren't too far back. As you can see, I end up curving through my spine. So I just want that nice straight line. Then you know you're going to keep your spine long. Bring yourself back down, lengthen out. This arm can do what it likes. It can stay there. It can just relax down the side of your body. You can place the hand behind, but make sure that arm stays close to your back so your shoulder stays in a good neutral position. It's all about the top leg. So relax the feet, breathe in, and as you breathe out, we lift the top knee and then slowly return. It's not a huge move. You might not think you need to use your core, but hold the stomach and try and keep your hips still. It's quite good if you have your arm down and relax it onto the hip. Because if you allow your hip to roll to try and get the knee higher, your arm's going to fall off the back. You're aiming just to lift until you feel the squeeze into the outer thigh. Squeeze it at the top. Now as you control the legs back together, they come close, they touch, but they don't relax. And quite quickly, you should feel this one. 2 more. Bring it together, ease, and give it an ease. So it's all around there. You might feel it into the bum, you might feel it down the side of the leg, it might be right on the side of the hip. It's all aiming to work the outer thigh and the side glute muscle. We're going to roll onto our backs. And you can then give yourself a little stretch. The one you've just been moving, cross it over. That might be enough to give you an outer thigh stretch. You can use your hand to push that knee wider if you want. Relax the hips. Or if you want, you can take hold of the leg that's on the ground and draw it in as close as you need. Relax the hips. And just ease that outer thigh. So before we do the other leg, let's work on our back. And I thought I'd go for the 100. This is the one I'm going to keep for all of the 6 classes within this course. And hopefully we're going to be able to do the full 100 by the end. I don't mind if you can't. Hopefully you're going to be able to do more by the end. That's the whole aim of it. So what's the 100? It's all about holding, and you're wanting 100 breaths. What are we holding? We're holding some kind of crunch, whether it's a pelvic tilt, where you push your belly button down and you curl your hips up. Notice I've curled my hips, I've not lifted my hips. So it's a roll. Holding tight there, relaxing there. Or you can go for pushing the belly button down and curling the shoulders up. It's not just chin into chest. It's a lift of the shoulders and feel your rib cage slide towards your hips. You can use a hand as a headrest, but the head rests onto the hand. It's a lift, and again, feel the slide of the shoulders. You have options in any of those positions. If you curl, you can keep the feet on the ground. You can take the feet off the ground and curl. Notice I'm holding. That's the whole point of this. You hold. Upper body. You can curl. You can curl and hold with the legs in the air. From here, you can lengthen the legs. Notice my legs are slightly away. And if you want it harder and harder, you can go further and further down. Start easy. See how much you can do. Next week or next session, next class, that's when you can try maybe adding something in leg-wise. If you thought, well, that was easy, I could do it for ages. If you find you're doing it for ages now and I'm about to stop, add in something. So how do we count the breaths? You have 10 fingers. You're going to do 5 counts for an in-breath. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 counts for an out-breath. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Obviously you breathe. But rather than doing it like that, you're going to get yourself into your curl. Breathe. You have to work out your pace, your breath. Are you ready? So I'm going to aim for 2 minutes. See what you can do. If you already know you can hold for quite a long time, then please feel free to get your legs in the air straight away.
You'll need to download one.
Apologise, as my Siri decided to kick in. I don't want you. Are we ready? 2 minutes. Push the belly button down, curl the lower half, the upper half, get yourself up. Hand for a headrest if you want. Get your legs into the air and start to breathe. So it's an in and an out breath. What you're aiming for is count 1. You might have already been counting. You might be thinking, what was I supposed to count? Don't worry. I want you to concentrate on pushing the belly button down, feeling the lower back into the ground, whether that's that pelvic tilt or the lift and the slide of the rib cage towards the hips. Don't pull the chin in. Let the head relax back. There will still be a curve. You'll be looking just above your knees. But I don't want there. I don't there. Curl it up. Feel it into the stomach. Curling the upper body really gets just underneath the rib cage. Curling through the lower half of the body gets into the lower half of the abdominals. We've already done 1 minute. Feeling you want more, get the legs up into the air. Feeling you've done enough, get yourself back down again. Breathe. I know I don't feel like I'm breathing, but having to talk, I have to breathe. You just concentrate on your breath. Breathing in, breathing out. About 30 seconds left. And that's the whole point by using the hands. It gets you thinking about breathing, because when you curl, normally you just hold your breath. So get yourself counting your breaths. 10 seconds, if you can manage it. Rib cage. Make sure you're not just pulling the head up. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and slowly release. Lengthen and stretch. So we need to go to the other clam. You can either just roll yourself to face away from your TV screen or whatever you're watching. I'm going to spin myself round. If you want to, do the same. So sit up, put your legs to the other end. That way you can still see the screen. In a class, I'd make you roll to the back and I'd move there, but it's a bit different in these circumstances. So again, if your shoulder allows, put a towel, put a cushion underneath your head if you prefer, and you can always move your arm out of the way. You're aiming to get a nice straight line. Hips forward, lengthen. Use your hand if you need to just to start, then that bend of the knees. You can from there, push yourself up and check. Body, hips and feet in line. So my hand's pointing towards my heels. If I brought them up, I'm touching my heel. Then get yourself back down, arm wherever you want it. We're ready to go. Pull the belly button in, relax the feet, breathe in, and as you breathe out, breathe it back in. Let the legs touch, so you're getting your full range. Are you better on this side? This is my better side. I can open this one further, but make sure that hips don't move. The arm's there, but you can relax it and it doesn't fall off. If you place your hand behind, again, say keep your arm against your back, and you should feel that it doesn't move. There's no rotation there. The shoulders staying still. You're feeling that squeeze around that outer thigh, just into the glutes. It's actually the little muscle within the glutes we're aiming to work, called the piriformis, but you do work the outer thigh as well. And not having done this one for quite a while now, I really do feel it down the side of my leg. 2 more if you can. Relax your feet. Notice my feet are staying together. Try not to lift the whole of that top leg. It's just the knee. Making yourself look like a clam, hence the name. When you're done, let it relax. Feel how you do actually relax. Bring it forward and give it an ease. Then when you're ready, you can roll yourself onto your back again and give yourself a good stretch. So the leg you've just been working, cross it over. That might be enough. Maybe you want that push and lengthen. Maybe you can reach. Don't have to take it all the way off the ground, just bringing it in a little. Maybe that way you can hold on to one leg, push the knee out. If you want it, draw it all the way in. My watch buzzing at me. Great things, technology, but sometimes they tell you too much. slowly release. So that's all I'm going to do for today, just a little movement, working through the back of the legs, the side of the hips, the stomach, into the back and the chest. A bit of an all over body workout. As we keep going, I'm going to keep maybe adding more, changing the moves, so some of the moves are going to take longer. But for now, we're ready for our relaxation. So feel free to get yourself comfy. You can stay laying on the floor, you can lengthen your legs, you can roll yourself onto your side, grab yourself a cover, a cushion. You can sit up if you want to. I'm going to sit up because I find you can hear my voice much better when I'm sat. So get yourself comfy, ready for your relaxation. If you want to add your music now, if you haven't got any on, please feel free to add your music now. And I just want you to concentrate on your breath. So breathing in through the nose and breathe out through the mouth. Feel that breath within your body. I talked at the beginning about breathing into the lower rib cage. As you sit or lay there now, really concentrate on where you're feeling the breath. Which part of the body is opening, expanding, and then slowly contracting? Do you feel it more around your shoulders? Relax the shoulders. We need to bring it into the lower rib cage. Do you feel it more into your stomach? Is it your stomach moving out and in? Relax the stomach and just lift it slightly into the rib cage. We're bringing it back to the muscles of the chest, and they're the muscles that are naturally designed to open and close the chest, to allow the lungs to fill and empty. By bringing the breath to the lower rib cage, it allows you to take the tension out of your shoulders and to relax into the stomach. Concentrate on the out breath. The out breath helps you to relax. Feel that as you breathe out, you breathe away the tension from the body. Release it from the face, the shoulders, the arms and hands. Relax through the chest, the back, the stomach and the hips. Relax the glutes, the legs. Relax the knees, the ankles and the feet. The body sinking down, being supported by the floor underneath you. Give way to the floor. Let yourself sink down into it. The breath has now slowed and calmed. Take a moment to just be aware of your body. Do you feel any areas that are still tense? Maybe it's the outer thigh we worked. Maybe the stomach. Maybe it's the tension you carry in your shoulders. Concentrate on relaxing those areas. Some of those aches and pains, that tension just won't go away. And that's when we need to stretch. So if you are sat, feel free to stay sitting. If you're laying down, just slowly move yourself to laying on your back if you can, lengthening the legs out. And feel the in-breath. Feel that chest open and spread. Feel the air flowing into the body, filling the lungs, then travelling out towards the hands. Allow the fingers to move. And just feel that movement. Clench your fist. Spread those fingers wide. Then gently open the arms out into a T shape. If you're laying down, you can relax them on the ground. If you sat, allow the thumbs to rotate back and just reach back slightly. Breathe out. Take the arms up above the head. If you're laying down, then you can relax them to the ground. If you're sat, then lengthen, reach, breathe out. Allow the arms to relax. Slowly, allow the knees to bend, feet flat to the ground. If you're sat, then you can copy me. If you're laying, you don't need to bother about looking. I'll try and talk you through how you should be. So your knees are bent, feet flat on the ground. Allow one leg to lengthen up into the air. You're going to go for a hamstring stretch. So use your hands to support behind the thigh. If you're sat, you can either come to that position or you can bring yourself there. So as you hold or relax down with the body, think about relaxing the hips. If you're laying down, really let the hips sink to the ground. You might find you need to move your legs slightly away. Let the hips relax and then gently use your hands bending at the elbow to draw the leg in until you feel the stretch into the back of the leg. If your elbows bend quite a lot, then you can always walk your hands up the leg. Try not to stop behind the knee. Go either onto the calf or just below the knee joint. Relax. Gently release and changing over sides. So one foot flat on the ground with the knee bent, other leg lengthens up into the air. Relax the hips. Use the hands to support the leg behind the thigh to start with. Once you feel the hips relax, then gently draw the leg in. Use your out breath as you draw it in. Stop as you start to feel the tension. Walk the hands up the leg if you can. You're aiming to keep the leg as long as possible. It's not allowing the knee to bend too much. If you find your knees bending a lot, take the leg away. Let the leg lengthen back up. You can, if you want, for next class, get yourself a tie or some sort of ribbon or string so you can hold your leg using that. Place it around the back of the ankle or onto the foot, and you can hold on to it in order to find the best position for you if you want. Gently ease, and in your own time, bring yourself up to sitting. Roll onto one side and push yourself up if that's easier for you. When you're sat, bring the soles of the feet together. Gently draw the feet in as close as you need, so your knees are pointing out to the side, and then just relax. I always used to do that because I did a lot of ballet when I was little and we was always told to go there. It's actually better if you can relax there. Whether you relax with your hands or if you can tip a little further and get your elbows on. If you need to, wriggle your bum so you can tilt your hips better and ease down. If you're quite flexible or you've got any knee problems, it works both. Go for legs lengthened out to the side instead. That way you keep your knee joint in line so there's no pressure there. Flexible, then you just go as wide as you can and you start to get your inner thigh stretch. Once you start to feel it, relax. Relax through the hips, relax the legs. That little inner thigh stretch. Gently ease, bring the legs back in. Open, relax the shoulders, thumbs rotate back and squeeze, just opening the chest. Bring the hands round onto the lower back, squeeze the elbows together and ease those shoulders. I don't mind where your legs are. If you prefer to have them crossed, cross them if you prefer. Bring the arms out in front, cross it over and reach. Let your chin drop to your chest and your spine curve. Release. We're going to stretch that outer thigh. If you can, you bring one leg in front and take one leg to the side. Then gently bring yourself forwards. Maybe you can get down onto an elbow. Maybe you can come to both elbows. Try and come over your shin. You might find you go there. I don't mind. But as you start to get the stretch better, slowly bring yourself in. If you're flexible, let yourself relax down. Breathe and ease into it. Relax the shoulders. Relax through the hips. Relax the legs. If you struggle with this one, if your hips don't like it, get one leg out in front, cross the other one over. Take the hands behind, and if you can, you come up onto that foot, bringing it as close in, just turn sideways on, as close in as you can. This is exactly the same as the one we did laying down. So if you want, you can go and lay down and do this stretch. Obviously relax your head back. Ease yourself up, and when you're ready, change to the other leg. So whether you go for what's called the hurdler stretch, where you can bring yourself here, low down as you can. If you do manage to lay on your chest and you can get quite low, when you feel the stretch ease, feel free to just change your chest position and it'll just stretch out the muscle in slightly different ways. If you prefer to come round to this one instead, go there. You can always lay down and do this one if you prefer. Gently release. Bring yourself round onto your knees. Knees about hip width, hands come in front, and then gently ease the hips back. I don't mind if your hips don't go down onto your heels. Just relax yourself back. If you can allow your head to come towards the ground in between the hands, do so. Gently bring yourself up, get your balance, step one leg through. Take a nice long stride forward. That way you can then bend the front knee so that knee ends up over the heel and you start to get the stretch here. You can keep the hand on the ground for support. As you get your balance, you can bring yourself up. You just get a bigger stretch. Relax into it. Don't worry if you think, I'm here. If you've got a stretch there, then you've got your stretch. It's finding where you need to go. Release it back, change to the other side. So again, long stride so that knee stays over the ankle. I don't mind if it's slightly behind What I don't want is there, because that's going to put an awful lot of pressure onto your joints. Go there. It's easier to balance for one, takes tension and pressure away. Gently release and slowly stand yourself up. I don't mind how you get up. I'm going to move the camera just slightly to finish us off. So bring yourself up to standing, and we finish with our balance. So get yourself back into neutral, tall through the body, shoulders down and back. Engage through the core. Breathe in, and as you breathe out, when you're ready, start to lift. Gently release and change to the other side. So feel that slow change of weight. Use the breath. Add arms. You might find you just open the arms for balance and leave them there. If you can lift and lower the arms as well, you just start to get the blood flowing a little more. Use more of the brain, having to think. Gently, can you get that leg coming higher? One more time each side, slow and controlled. Bring it down, reset, just a little twist through the waist, loosen into the back, nothing big and nice and slow. Bring it center, roll through the shoulders, relax it down and finish in a nice neutral position. So that's it, well done. Class 1 done. Feel free to go straight on to class 2, or if you prefer, stay with class 1 for a couple more times, get to know the moves, and we'll progress from here. Hope to see you next time. Bye.